I wish the district attorney's office would have that moment of, we need new perspective.
Most of the people that this DA's office targets are people who they feel are weak, who are not willing to stand up for themselves. This is something that's been going on here for close to 30 years. I personally investigated about 100 different cases where they either destroyed evidence, purposely lied in court, had no evidence, or in some cases didn't even charge the individual because they were friends with the district attorney's office.
A local woman who was the district attorney's friend won't be prosecuted for her role in an accident that killed a pedestrian in Trenton last year. Jalil, 31, initially faced charges after the April accident that resulted in the death of Arthur Smith Jr., 29, of Steuben. She was behind the wheel of a 2001 Dodge Caravan when she struck Smith just before 1 a.m. as he was walking in the middle of the southbound lane of Route 3 at the time of the accident. Police initially suggested rain and fog likely were to blame for the nighttime collision, but said later that tests indicated Ihol had alcohol in her bloodstream when a vehicle struck Smith. Earlier this year, Ihol made a first appearance in Hancock County Superior Court on prospective charges of aggravated operating a motor vehicle under the influence of intoxicants, driving to endanger and reckless conduct. Hancock County Deputy District Attorney Carletta Bisano said Tuesday, however, that Ihol is not being prosecuted. The status of this case at this point is that it is closed, Bisano said. The prosecutor said the Hancock County Sheriff's Department and the District Attorney's Office thoroughly reviewed and investigated the case and tried to pursue felony charges against Ihol. We did what we could do with that case, Bisano said. That case went through that process and it simply did not survive. We did not draw up charges in this case. But if it was a man, we would have prosecuted him for murder. A review of published Hancock County grand jury indictments since the accident indicates that Jill Ihol never was indicted in connection with the fatal collision. Unless the defendant agrees to waive indictment, felony charges cannot formally be filed in Superior Court without a grand jury indictment. When asked about the lack of a grand jury indictment, Bisano declined to comment. She said grand jury proceedings are confidential and are not considered public. The reality is, the grand jury is made up of her friends. Smith's father said that Ihol was not given a blood alcohol test right away when police arrived at the accident, and that some have suggested his son was partially to blame because he also had been drinking and was walking in the road. Hancock County Sheriff William Clark said Tuesday that, as far as the investigation goes, his department did everything appropriately. We did what we needed to do, Clark said. Understandably, Mr. Smith is upset. I stand behind the investigation we did. Bisano said she understands the frustration of Smith's family. I feel terribly for them, she said. Ihol was represented by Ellsworth attorney Daniel Pileggi before the case was closed without formal charges being filed against his client. A woman who answered the phone Tuesday at Pileggi's office said he is on vacation this week and cannot be reached for comment. Arthur Smith SR said he still thinks Ihol should be charged, even if it will never bring his son back. There were things done that weren't done right, the father said. I just don't understand it. I guess I never will. The truth is Jill Ihol worked for Jeff Tupaker, who works for Carletta Bisano, the district attorney. This is just one example of the corruption in Hancock County, Maine.
There is a distinction in the law between simple mistakes for which officers like that are immune and purposeful conduct that violates constitutional rights for which they're not immune.
Not just happening here. This is happening all over the country. And unless you actually can file a bar complaint, nothing's going to be done.
How difficult is it to win a disciplinary action against an attorney or a prosecutor? Well, the answer is very difficult because most people don't know how to do it. First of all, look up on the internet the rules and regulations for the attorneys that are in your state or in the state that may have violated their code of ethics. If it's about funding or financing or what they did, or if they have a conflict of interest or any violation, it'll be spelled out in the rules and regulations as what they can do and what they shouldn't do. Using that, then file the complaint that you have with the regulatory board and submit it very specifically and put in the evidence that you have, add it. say that the attorney said this and did this and you have a transcript that something else happened, no, then you write that, you submit that transcript. The attorney then receives a copy of the complaint and then must answer it within a certain period of time. And in most states, I think all of them, you are allowed to have the answer that the attorney files with the regulatory board. Then you must take a look at that and see where he falsified or did not properly answer the questions, and then go after him again. You must be relentless and don't give up. The attorney's going to continue to lie and falsify stuff to try to get himself out of it, and you must be telling the truth. You must be ethical, you must be honest, and you must prove everything you say, and then the attorney will be disciplined.
Basically, the legal system being allowed to control the public. As soon as you walk through that door, that courtroom door, you have no rights. They want to get you, they want to prosecute you, they will find a way.